Hello every single one of you and welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to apply Elliott wave theory on this specific chart. I'm going to talk about some tweets from some other people. We are going to talk about some comments, and I just want to talk about the general market sentiment and what's going to happen with Bitcoin, what can we expect for the next coming months, and basically a little bit my thoughts, okay? So first of all, guys, we have been very bearish on Bitcoin the moment we broke from this falling wedge formation to the upside. And I think technically, in terms of risk management, it is also the better way or the better perspective to have in the markets. But I think we got to be cautious too, because we can definitely see that the sentiment in the markets is fearful. The sentiment is definitely fearful. The crypto fear and greed index, as you can see right here over on WhaleAlerts.com, is at low levels. The last time we were trading at these low levels, we saw basically a bounce in the Bitcoin price. So I wouldn't necessarily say that right now we cannot see a bounce in the Bitcoin price. But more about that in a bit. I want to talk about Elliott wave theory. Because we have been looking at this stablecoin dominance chart for quite a while. And I think this chart is really freaking accurate, because this chart really shows basically major reversals for Bitcoin and major bottoms for Bitcoin. So every time we can see this thing being at the top of the resistance, that is a major low for Bitcoin, and every time this one is at the bottom, that is a major top for Bitcoin. And I can just quickly illustrate it for you guys so you can see how that looks. But for example, right here, we topped out and then we come down. That was exactly the moment that Bitcoin started this massive bull run, right? When did we top in that bull run? The moment we like basically touched that support in this channel on the stablecoin dominance. Then we had the top. And then we came back down till we went back to the resistance, and then the stablecoin dominance goes down and Bitcoin's price go up. When did Bitcoin top again? The moment the stablecoin dominance touched the support, Bitcoin topped again. And that's right here as well. The moment the Bitcoin stablecoin dominance is topping, Bitcoin is bottoming. So that's why right now it's just a weird situation, because we are at the support right now, which is again showing a Bitcoin top. And I really think that for Bitcoin to get launched into this bull market, we need to break this uptrending support, which I think will happen. I think that definitely will happen. But here you can just see how accurate this chart is in terms of a inverse correlation, right? And if we apply Elliott wave theory, and I'm not a fan of Elliott wave theory, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. First of all, because I'm not educated enough to really use Elliott wave theory. I haven't read major books on that, but I have used it in the past, and I know some rules. From Elliott wave theory, which I can see basically in this chart. So that is the interesting thing, and let's go over it. So if we were to look at this chart from 2019, it looks like it is forming a 5-wave structure. So we have like the first wave right here, second wave coming down, the third wave right here, the fourth wave right here, and it looks like we are right now in the fifth wave, which is actually very bullish for Bitcoin, because that means that we are going to see a fifth wave right here, which means that Bitcoin still can come a little bit lower. But once we complete that fifth wave, we are going to see a massive move down on this chart. Either a ABC correction, but at least there's going to be some further downside, which I think will be very, very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto, because when this chart is going down, you guys know what's happening. So let me share some rules with you guys, what I know from Elliott wave theory. First of all, I know that wave 4 is the most choppiest wave of the whole structure. So that was why I looked at this and I was like, okay, yeah, this really looks like a wave 4. A wave 4 is often sideways. It doesn't correct further, and that is another one. Wave 4 doesn't correct further than the 38.20%. So it should go sideways, but not really below the 38.20%, which we don't see. So this structure of a wave is typically like a fourth wave. Also, the third wave, as you can see right here, should be the longest wave in the whole wave structure. That's also true. The third wave is definitely the longest. And if we have a look at the subwaves right here, it's also looking quite clear. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then we have A, B, C, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have A, B, C. So these wave structures within these Elliott wave, bigger Elliott wave, they look very valid if you ask me. So I'm definitely going to lean right now again more to this scenario that right now we are in the 5th wave on the stablecoin dominance. And can we a little bit pull back in the short term time frame and Bitcoin bounce? Yes, of course. But generally, I expect this wave to have one last push, top somewhere at least, or here at the resistance, or we break the resistance and maybe like hit the middle of the channel, and from there, once wave 5 is completed, we are going to come down and we are going to break that support. An invalidation of this idea, which of course can happen, is just a break of that support. If we are going to break that support again, or not again, but if we are going to break that support, I'm going to flip my bias directly into more bullish, and I will scream that right here over the channel. So make sure, guys, to subscribe down below. I want to share some things. First of all, let's talk about a comment I got yesterday from LJ, and he says the only thing that keeps me bullish is sentiment. If recession happens, it would be the most anticipated recession ever, and it doesn't work like that in my honest opinion. It will come for sure, but not now, not yet. Want to see euphoria and comfort zone among people first, and then so let's go. So I really want to give a big shout out to this guy, because yes, he's actually right. When everything is being anticipated, it's not playing out, because the anticipation is already making sure that the market participants are positioned for that anticipation, right? And Bitcoin did got a lot of headwinds, as Bob Lucas is saying right here as well. But the market is not pricing in the early stage of this 4-year cycle. That's maybe true. The halving narrative, which still has to come, a more accommodating 2024 Fed, and the optionality around the ETF approval. Well, I think the ETF approval is definitely kind of priced in, right? Because we have seen so many news about this, so I don't really understand why this one is not really priced in. I think everyone is aware of it, but I do agree, guys, and we can see that over on whaleportal.com too. It is fearful right now. The sentiment is fearful, and generally the sentiment has to flip a little bit more bullish in order to get fearful. So the same thing happened. Let me get my video right here. The same thing happened right here. So Bitcoin came down, and this was actually a massive support level, and everyone turned bullish. But that is the moment when everyone turned bullish that Bitcoin actually started to dump. And right now we are seeing that everyone turned bearish. Everyone is turning bearish, and we do see some bullish divergences over on Bitcoin right here. If we go to the, let's say, 4-hour time frame, we can see the momentum indicators. They are coming up, right? We can see Orion's belt coming up, MACD coming up, relative strength index coming up. We still get rejected from the 4-hour EMA ribbon. But if we can break above this level, I don't see why we cannot see a bounce in the shorter term time frame. However, over the next, like till December, till the end of this year, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards this chart. I'm going to look at this chart very carefully, because this chart basically just shows me that we might finish one last wave, a 5th wave, Elliott wave, and that Bitcoin can bottom the moment this wave will top. And guys, the moment this wave will top, if we get a correction, this is actually the beautiful thing. This has been an uptrend since 2019. So if we were to do something like this, and we can see that, okay, this chart might correct, like with a structure, like maybe we have the 5th wave, and then we come down, right? Look at if this would happen and we would go to the 61.80%, that would be insane. This would bring Bitcoin to $100,000 US. Definitely, guys. So I would say this chart is so bullish, even though in the shorter term time frame it still says that Bitcoin can go a little bit lower. That's possible, but once this wave 5 is completed and we are going to come down, most likely we are going to leave this uptrending structure, this uptrending channel, And that will be insane, guys. That will really be insane. So much liquidity will go to Bitcoin, and this is going to be the acceleration phase of the bull market. But we first, in my opinion, have to complete wave 5. It would make a lot of sense. Also with the structure of Bitcoin, it is always possible. Like if we go to the daily time frame, of course it is possible. Maybe we are actually forming such a rising channel and Bitcoin is just going to pump up right here. It's possible, right? It's Bitcoin. Everything is possible. But I would say losing all these important momentum indicators like the 200-week moving average just definitely increases the likelihood to get till the end of the year a further correction. But yeah, if we reclaim these levels, it can also change, right? But this is just something, to watch. I think this chart definitely is the best chart to watch right now, because this chart will give us exactly the signal what we need. So we should assume we are going to complete wave 5 until we actually going to break it. Because if we were to break it like today or tomorrow, we break this channel to the downside, we can directly flip our bias. Okay, we're wrong. This channel is breaking, we go back into Bitcoin. Right? But so far, as long as we are not doing that, I'm going to still assume that this chart is going to complete its 5th wave. And yeah, guys, if I'm mistaken here, if you have more knowledge about Elliott wave theory, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very curious about your opinion. So guys, do take in mind that the sentiment right now is very bearish, but also take in mind the bigger picture right here. And I think it's very important that we keep on focusing on the stablecoin dominance chart. And I've seen nobody talking about this specific chart and this specific structure. So this is really an edge that we have right here on the Blockchain Today channel, which others are not aware of, right? If everyone is aware of this, it's going to be less reliable. So that's why this is really nice that we found this. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever something changes right here. I want to wish every single one of you a very beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.